A closer look, the game of happiness. Among the emotions, happiness is one of the most highly valued, especially in Western societies. This premium placed on happiness extends beyond the fact that being happy simply feels good. Happiness is also associated with occupational success, better physical health, and density of social networks. Fortunately, scientists have identified various strategies that can help increase happiness. Here are 10 empirically based tips that are simple and concrete enough to be implemented in the span of a single day. Steps to happiness. Take 30 minutes and write down what you are grateful for in your life. Take a moment once a week to express your appreciation for your romantic partner or a friend, noting something specific this person does that you are grateful for. Do something that makes you laugh with a friend or a romantic partner, see a movie or a comedy show, share a series of funny gifts. Go for a walk somewhere that makes you feel awe, in a great part of a city or in a natural setting. If you have $10 to spare, give it to a charity whose work is important to you. Take 10 minutes a week to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and focus on feelings of kindness towards one person you are close to. Take 10 minutes a day for 4 days and write about your life goals and your best possible self, the person you aspire to be in 5 years. If you have some spare money and are contemplating buying something, instead of buying a consumer product, use the money to create an experience, dinner with a friend, an outing to a park or museum. Take 10 minutes to think about a present difficulty in your life and imagine what a dear friend would say to you as a form of support. Take in the feelings of self-compassion. Get off your smartphone and social media and go out with friends. A happier future you. Box 6.4. Focus on positive psychology. Nirvana in the brain. Ever since the Buddha found enlightenment when meditating under a bo tree 2,500 years ago, billions of people have turned to meditation to find peace and happiness. There are many kinds of meditation practices, but they share certain principles. They encourage you to mindfully slow your breathing to a steady rhythm with deep exhalations, which reduces stress-related cardiovascular arousal. Many meditation practices encourage a mindful attention to different sensations in your body. They likewise encourage a calm, non-judgmental awareness of your thoughts and feelings. And many meditation practices, such as those popularized by the Dalai Lama, encourage training the mind in loving kindness and compassion. Here the meditator extends warm feelings of compassion to family members, friends, loved ones, strangers, the self, and ultimately adversaries, to encourage a more compassionate stance toward fellow human beings. Does meditation work? Neuroscientist Richard Davidson has been seeking a rigorous answer to that question. 2012. In one line of work, he has studied practitioners of Tibetan Buddhism who spend as much as 4 or 5 hours a day quietly meditating. Upon scanning the brain of one monk, he found that his resting brain showed levels of activation in the left frontal lobes, regions of the brain involved in positive emotion that were literally off the charts. In another task, Davidson blasted the monk with a loud burst of white noise, which for most people activates an ancient and powerful startle response, the strength of which is a good indicator of how stressed out the person is. The monk didn't even blink. These benefits can be enjoyed by most people, not just monks who have devoted their lives to the practice of meditation. Davidson, John Kabat-Zinn, and their colleagues had software engineers train in the techniques of mindfulness meditation with the aim of developing the ability to accept without judgment their thoughts and feelings and the practice of loving kindness towards others. 6 weeks later, the participants showed increased activation in the left frontal lobes. They also showed enhanced immune function, evident in the size of the immune response in the skin when given a flu shot. In similarly motivated work, researchers have found that practicing mindfulness meditation, with a focus on being mindful of breathing and extending loving kindness to others, boosts happiness several weeks later. Meditation and happiness. French Tibetan monk Matthew Ricard practices various contemplative meditations for hours a day and, in different tests by Richard Davidson, has been shown to have a remarkably happy brain. Looking back, happiness consists of overall life satisfaction and moment-to-moment emotional well-being, or the ratio of daily positive to negative emotions. It's sometimes hard to predict the extent of our future happiness. We tend to focus on certain focal factors while neglecting other, less focal elements that will nonetheless powerfully influence how happy we'll be. We are also biased in our recollection of past pleasures, focusing on the peak and endpoint of an experience. We can cultivate happiness by pursuing social connection, practicing gratitude, giving to others, focusing on experiences rather than material objects, and seeking out experiences of awe. Chapter Review Summary. Characterizing emotion. The experience of emotion is generally brief, lasting only seconds or minutes. Moods often last for hours or days. Emotions guide how we perceive the world and how we act in response to challenges and opportunities in the environment. Emotional expression, universal and culturally specific. Universal aspects to emotion are based on evolutionary factors. Emotions enable people to respond quickly and effectively to threats and opportunities related to survival. People in different cultures facially express happiness, surprise, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear in similar ways. Cultures vary in focal emotions, which are common in everyday experience. There are cultural differences in which emotions are highly valued and in the display rules that govern how emotions are expressed. Emotions and social relationships. Emotions help solve the commitment problem, enabling people to express sincere commitment and to behave in ways that benefit others' well-being, thus strengthening social relationships. The chemical oxytocin, circulating throughout the blood, contributes to building commitment and trust. Emotional expressions in the face, voice, and touch trigger reactions in others, thus coordinating interactions like flirtation or attachments between parents and children. The experience and expression of certain emotions like awe, pride, and anger enable people to know their status within social groups. Emotions and understanding the social world. Emotions influence how people perceive information. Fear, for instance, makes people more attuned to threats in the environment. The broaden and build hypothesis holds that positive emotions broaden thoughts and actions, prompting people to see greater similarities between themselves and others, thereby building stronger relationships. According to the social institutionist model of moral judgment, people have fast, emotional intuitions about right or wrong, then rely on reason to make moral judgments. Moral foundations theory offers 5 evolved, universal moral domains in which specific emotions guide moral judgments. Happiness. Happiness is described as the combination of life satisfaction and emotional well-being, the tendency to experience more positive emotions than negative emotions. Happiness is associated with stronger relationships, increased creativity, and better health. Affective forecasting involves predictions about how life events will influence happiness. People often fail to predict how much an emotional experience, such as breaking up from a romantic relationship, will affect them. Focalism is narrowly focusing on how a single event will influence future happiness while not considering other events. People can cultivate happiness by being grateful, practicing generosity, and focusing on experiences rather than purchasing material goods.